Fitness has got to make me functional for life. It was a text that I just sent my buddy not too long ago, and it just was like, you know what, we're gonna make a video on this one. So I think when I used to do just purely bodybuilding training, I realized that there was tightness in ways that I wasn't able to move in, and really just to have the ability to move in different planes of motion. I think with bodybuilding, a lot of the times you can have these front and back movements like bicep curl, squat, shoulder press. Everything is up and down, straightforward. But in life, when you're doing things like rolling around, playing basketball, baseball, tennis, swimming, you're in all these different positions where like your shoulders expand into different planes of motion. You're twisting at the hips, you're taking side movements, you're in all these different positions where your core is tested. There's just so many examples there. So I make sure that in the midst of me loving to kill heavy weights, that I'm also adding in movements that really tie it all together. Like holding a kettlebell really high over my head and doing walks where it stabilizes the shoulder muscle. Planks, making sure that I'm doing banded twisting core movements just to train my core in different planes of motion. I think that's a big one, especially with the core. The body has a twisting motion with the muscle fibers. Like look at the fibers on an anatomy picture, all the way from the lats down to the core. All of your power in baseball, soccer, football is coming from this movement that's like cross body. So it's twisting. So when I started to train my core really, really well in this like twisting plane of motion with heavy resistance bands, and more doing different planes of motion with like ab rollers, I was able to unlock some better strength and better stability where my body just felt kind of more together and more balanced, and really just the whole system just felt stronger. When I went to row, my core felt a lot stronger because I had this good trunk rotation, right? That really powered me up from like the midsection, which tied the lower and the upper together. So that's a really, really good example there. I think also, I mean, you want to be able to have plyometric ability, which is the ability just to like jump, explode really quickly. So if you're jump roping or you're box jumping or you're doing a strong lateral jump side to side, I think there's something to be said with sprints or box jumps or explosive kettlebell swings, just that test the fast twitch muscles, because the plyometric is that body's ability to just quickly respond. And there's a lot of times in life where you're playing games or you have to switch directions really quick, and you want to be prepared, and your body can be trained to know how to adapt and really use your muscles properly when you need to jump or run, sprint, play sports with people randomly so you don't get injured. Because what happens is if you don't train plyometric, whether it's like you're jumping or you're landing or explosiveness, you go to just do something like play basketball or shoot hoops, or you run real quick and then you pull your hamstring or you pull your hip because those muscles haven't been used to like handling that kind of tension. To just, instead of just like slowly moving, it's like real quick, and you just go pull that adductor or the hamstring or the ankle. A lot of times it's ankles for a lot of people. Ankle mobility is a big one. Like if you're gonna go run or skateboard or all kinds of different things on foot, your ankles move in all these different planes of motion, just like not just front to back. So having the ability to land and plant, jump quick. So that's another strong category, is tying in some plyometrics. My buddy was talking about kettlebells too. So I mean, you train your core in a lot of different planes of motion. Train some plyometrics where you add in a couple explosive movements, and then really if you throw in the kettlebells, at that point, the kettlebells, lots of stability overhead, explosive front movements, kettlebell push-ups, close, kettlebell rows. There's like all different kinds of ways you can incorporate those, and that'll get you out of that usual movement pattern. I mean, you could beat down the really strong movement patterns, lifting heavy weights, and then it's good to make sure we're adding in mobility as well in that. So mess around with resistance bands, doing high reps of resistance bands before we lift, or even and throughout the day we can keep it at our home or office or wherever we work, and then making sure we're holding good stretches and foam rolling. There's just so many categories here, but when I mentioned that to my buddy that I was able to get up and skateboard recently, I was like, you know what? That's a good feeling. Just to be like, you're not just a hunk of muscle. You're able to skateboard and play a lot, do a lot of cool things. So this is a good combo.